Finally, we meet again. Well, another day, another time, and another story. Greetings to all of my strawberry fairies, pineapple darlings, and happy cupcakes out there. Without further ado, welcome to my channel.
Ich glaube, es hackt. Einfach die Schale da rein, wo die Eier sind. Ja, alles.
Yes. Finally, we made it. It has been 8 months since I've last vlogged. As an opening scene of my winterly entry, I took a few shots of us baking. This has become a tradition for my boy and me, as this was his birthday wish. It is the same recipe every year. Nothing fancy, nothing extravagant. He loves it simple. Therefore, we will always bake the same cake and stick to his favorite. That is to say, the dry chocolate cake. By the time this vlog is posted, Christmas and New Year is way over. The holiday was too short and we were pretty busy preparing for the celebration, which filled up most of my days. When all was said and done, we had only a few days of rest before school started in full circle again. The year 2025 starts quietly and calmly with my boy celebrating his 11th birthday, and for that we wish him a good start and many blessings for the next future to come. We have had quite a tight schedule since my boy entered high school last September 2024. The kids had a few important exams before and after the new year, and I was fully engaged in their studies. We are all struggling to catch up with everything, juggling with school, work, and family life. The usual. But never mind about that. Who am I to make such a fuss over those mundane or ordinary day-to-day kinds of stuff? In retrospect, the last video I posted was somewhere in May, and we were in the midst of house renovation projects at that time. Amidst all of these, we tried our best to make ends meet. Life has been good and I am the happiest I have ever been. Oh, so many stories to tell. I have not been socially active, which is like for the past 8 months, I believe. Casually, from time to time, I check on everyone online to see how everyone is doing. Nowadays, I am not into social media as I used to. Nevertheless, despite being overwhelmed with work and family life, I still do what I love: vlogging, writing, journaling, photography, and filmmaking. These are the things I'm quite enthusiastically and creatively working on. However, before we go forward with this, I ask you to please consider that if this is not your cup of tea, you need not be here at all. This is merely my life story, my adventures, my memories. Well, you know, all the boring stuff. Time wisely spent is a progress of exploring the moment and discovering boundless adventures. What matters the most is the happiness we seek, undeniably so. Here we reflect on those moments, a few shots of my days before Christmas, but I won't bore you all into the details. I have to be honest, those few weeks before Christmas, I was not quite motivated. I was low in energy and had agonizing sleepless nights and insufferable extreme exhaustion. Winter in itself has brought those slow, torturous cold gripping my old bones. I do admit I felt like 100 years old, probably more. Not to mention we got ill between those days and the weeks, which affected my mood entirely. Supposedly, I would decorate the house fully during the first week of December so that we thoroughly enjoy the beautiful Christmassy moments during the cold and grayish days. I love Christmas for all its glory. Its mesmerizing twinkling lights brighten, whether inside or outside the house, making the cold and darkness feel better. One way or another, amazingly such a thing does make a difference. The joy of hearing the plethora of Christmassy songs, first and foremost those vintage songs, would easily bring tears to my eyes. It evokes emotions and creates a sense of nostalgia which I cannot explain. Since my boy started high school, his schedule has been filled with homework and projects, and he is facing more exams. This year was quite stressful, and by the time he joined in to do the Christmas decorations, it was already dark outside. Although it was just 6 o'clock in the evening, it felt like it was way past 10 p.m. Later, he had his dinner, did some study again, and finally said goodnight. While the kids are already in bed and have long gone asleep, I keep on doing the work until I have decided that it is enough for the day. The next morning, the sun shines brightly and spreads warmth inside the house as it hits directly at the windows. It was comfortable and pleasant, especially during this season when the cold seeps through your clothes. I am always glad that, at least for the few hours of warmth I have received, I do enjoy daylight. During winter, the hemisphere is tilted, shying away from the sun. This is why the day is shorter and we receive less light. Less light means less heat. It is rarely during winter that the sun can be overwhelmingly warm. I cherish the sunlight while decorating, which took me a few hours to finish until the children had returned home from school. One can never notice how time flies until the sounds of the turning keys jingle at the front door. A few weeks went by ephemerally, and Christmas is already happening. It felt sudden and at the same time draggingly slow. This special day comes with a promising silence. We are so grateful to be here today. Time stood still for a moment in that room. For a moment, I'm quite sure I have heard the heavens caroling. Ultimately, we are solely entering the month of February. Delicately and gracefully, the bulbous flowers in the garden protruded out from the ground. Bearing that in mind, spring is knocking at the front door. Regardless, winter can still be felt in the air. Those frosty mornings scattered across the meadows with hovering white mist, slightly touching the ground like light clouds. Trees were covered with a few icicles hanging from the branches like transparent earrings. Likewise, if you carefully study nature, you might notice a few calyx fully covered with furry snow, which reminded me of caramelized, sugar-coated, rounded chocolate balls. Solace I have found in the grace of embracing these moments. Whatever lessons I have earned, those brought me nearer to the possibilities of a new journey ahead. I have no fear of new things or changes, anxious perhaps of the unknown. I truly believe we can manage. The heart always knows what the mind is not. The universe itself is a vast space of the mysterious, waiting to be explored. Therefore, I am keen and open to going out there and seeing the world. Let's see what is in store for me. At this time, we could never know if tomorrow will ever come. We need to consider that time is not always on our side. Our attitude towards ourselves has to be changed to make it all possible to reach out for any ambition in mind. And who among us would have it otherwise? As sure as it may sound, the journey through life is hard at times. Every one of us is trying to work it out differently. We are seekers of peace. Congruently, like a traveler, we are trying to find a pathway, hoping that we shall reach the right destination, going home. Oddly, life speaks to us through signs of time and our loved ones. If you seek, you shall find, and it will be given to you. And when you do find what you are looking for, perhaps you might find your purpose, your true reason to live, a life worth living for. Well, have you? Thank you so much for passing by. Do not forget to subscribe and click that notification button. Until the next time, bye-bye.